I think I want to share this, and I'm going to invite also people. If you have a question, please make sure that you raise your hand to do so. But the first time I met you was out in Brooklyn, and one of the first things I remember you saying was collaboration over competition. And I said, "Yo." I said, yeah, I get it. Like he get, oh man, I can't wait to talk. I can't wait to see his contribution as to all the things that you bring. And so I just remember that collaboration over competition. Can you speak to the importance of collaborating in our community so that we can then afford ourselves more opportunity, right? Not everyone has 100 doors, but we may be connected to someone who lives in another state, another city, that can open up a window for us to see, like, here's this opportunity here.
Well, I think just our community of how they really think about the music that we listen to, right? We all love rap. We all love hip hop. It's extremely competitive,
Mhm.
right? So we all, especially if you're from New York, right? And you
Shout out to
grew
New
up,
York.
shout out to New York in the building, all my New Yorkers. Shout out to everybody, but New York,
Yes, sir.
I think is just a different mindset because it's just so competitive. It's so dense. It's buildings everywhere, depending on where you live, and we grow up competing
Mhm.
versus trying to, work with one another. And everything is always small, right? You got your own cliques,
Mhm.
right? If I'm with this clique on this block, I don't mess with this clique around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
very clicky,
Right.
right? So with me growing up that way and then coming to this business early, I was just like a lone wolf.
Mhm.
And I realized the people who was the most successful in the mortgage business were part of teams and they
Mm.
will work together. And it
Mhm.
just made sense to me, like, wait a minute, like that's probably the route that I need to go with my business is not try to be a one-man army, like click up
Right.
basically and
Right.
collaborate and just don't try to collaborate with just people that I'm comfortable with, get uncomfortable and just really out there network and collaborate with everybody. Being in the mortgage business really helped me bring that collaboration is greater than competition mantra to life because I had to work with so many different people from all different backgrounds, all different races. No matter what your political views were, we still
Mhm.
got to do business, right? So when it came fast forward to everything that you guys see today, it was very easy for me. I remember one of the first conversations that I had with Rashad, I was asking him on how in hell was he like, all right, so I rewind back. Rashad is like the RZA. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard me say this before, right?
Right.
The dude is like an evil sick genius sometimes. Like,
Shout out
and
to my brother Shadi.
shout out to
Amen.
Shadi, right?
Yeah.
But Greg, you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dude is a nut,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I used to, when I first tapped in with Shadi, like 2018, he had like 9,000 people. There was no Earn Your Leisure, none of this. But
Mhm.
his page was like the shade room for financial literacy. And he had 9,000 followers, but he would have 5,000 comments on every post. And I'm like, how the hell is this guy doing this? So I reached out to him, DM. I saw that he was in New York. He was a financial planner. I said, oh, I'm a loan officer. Great. This could work. Right. So I
Mhm.
reached out to him like, yo, filling him out, see what he was about. We spoke for like an hour. Then I immediately just started sending him clients. And a good majority of his clients pulled out money and started investing with him and his firm.
Mhm.
So he calls me up one day. Is like, yo, all these people are rolling over money. Like, what do you want? I said, I want to know what the hell you doing to get 5,000 comments.
Right.
like,
Right.
like you
Right.
said, you a financial advisor, but you're never talking about financial advising. You never talk about life insurance. You just talking about the culture. So
Mhm.
then he started laughing and then he started telling me his plan. I
Yeah.
said, oh shit, this guy's crazy. Right. I said, all right, so how do I do that on my page? He was like,
Right.
well, you reached out to me, you sent me clients, and they transacted with me. Why don't you talk about that type of stuff that you do in your business as far as the other things that tie into real estate, financial planning, insurance, estate planning,
Mhm.
tax planning, et cetera, because you work with all these professionals with realtors. I'm like, yeah. He was like, so why don't you just bring them on your page and start having that conversation in public, not
Mhm.
just behind the closed doors. I said, oh, that's brilliant. So then that's when the whole collaboration is greater competition thing. If you used to follow me like 18, 19 from the
Mhm.
beginning, I used to wear shirts with it on and everything like that because I was like, oh, you know what? He's right. And I started just sharing with everybody and just putting them on my platform before I even had a platform. Even like my first seminar I did, Shadi was one of my speakers. I think that was one of the first seminars that he spoke at.
Mm.
Like it was just crazy, and everything just kind of grew from there.
That's what's up.
And it was just a matter of starting and just collaborating and not being afraid to take a back seat. Sometimes I think we run in our egos run in a way where we got to be like the Michael Jordan of things. I don't need to be Michael Jordan. I need to be Michael Jordan when it's time for me to be Michael Jordan. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
But
right.
I can allow others to be their greatest while I can be in the background and still be great as well, but I
Right.
can push them forward. So that's kind of what I did. I was like Magic Johnson. I was like giving you assists. Like I didn't
Yeah,
need to
that's
score 20, 30 points. I could have a triple double every game with 10 points, but I could have 30 assists and 15 rebounds. And that's just kind of how I looked at the whole collaborations competition, make everybody else better. And then in turn, it will help grow my profile. And then also it would give the audience a deeper understanding of how deep real estate can go if you really
mhm,
put your mind to it. And it kind of stuck and worked. And if you look at really every seminar that you see on the planet right now,
right.
especially when it's financial literacy, it's always kind of like the same that we've incorporated from day one. Seminars wasn't looking like this before.
Nah, they
So
wasn't
like
popping at all. They were not popping at
if you
all.
even look at Envy and Caesar seminars, when we
Yeah.
first started, it was real estate all day long. It was nothing
Mm,
but real estate all
right.
day long. You wouldn't hear nothing. They wouldn't even teach you about wholesale or nothing. It was just on how they did it. Then they had to switch it up and started incorporating some of this other stuff with now wholesaling, Airbnb, tax planning, all these different things because the audience just doesn't want to hear about one thing. They want to tie it all in together. And when you collaborate with these type of professionals, it just makes it easier. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
bring that message to the audience where everybody now can understand, it's not just about buying real estate. It's about buying real estate, getting a will, setting up an estate plan, getting the proper insurances, having life insurances,
Mm,
whole life, term. It's about tax planning now, knowing exactly if I buy this piece of real estate, how does this impact me tax season? Like you got to know like kind of everything because it's a business. You got to run it and you got to have all
right.
these players involved. So I think bringing that collaboratory spirit to my page just really helped deepen the conversation and with the audience. And now, like 4 years later, almost, I can't tell you how many people I know now have wills and trusts that didn't
Right.
have one 2 years ago, that didn't have one year.
Right.
Not only having real estate, but they have everything else that complements it too. So it's just a beautiful thing, bro.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, man. You just dropped so much in there, and yeah, I appreciate you sharing your testimony, but also sharing the wisdom of insight, man. Because I think that's part of the thing that was lacking is that why people will give testimonials, they wouldn't give those like those gems, those insight, that connection that will help someone take their first step.